or ask a question. The other thing is, if you have any questions, what I would advise you to do, is put them in the chat. I will be moderating the session, and so I will see the questions in the chat and can pass them on either as they come in or at the end of the subsections to Matthias and to Barbara. So please put all the questions in the chat. There's time for Q&As, but also, of course, as we go through, questions might arise for clarity, for examples. Please, we do encourage you to put those into the chat. Please write them in the chat, and I'll make sure that they are that they are done. Maybe if you go to the next slide, just a brief introduction of the people, and of course they will introduce themselves as they start speaking. I'm at the bottom of the page. My name is Douglas. I'm the manager of the international area of SBI. Our experts today, Barbara and Matthias. We've chosen them specifically. They're very much focused on the digital marketing, digital communication fields. That's what they do. That's what they do at SBI for our company, and also to help our clients, be they in Europe, be they in Portugal, be they in Europe, be they in the rest of the world. As you can see on those slides, I won't go through them in detail, but they're young, dynamic, understanding people who've got lots of experience in this digital marketing world, both in terms of strategy development, content development, and the monitoring thereof, which I think is a very key aspect as well, which we'll be going into. So they're very open, and they're very obviously willing to ask questions as we go through and at the end of the sessions. And we're very excited about this type of session for today. So with that, if it's okay, maybe we can go to the next slide. And I'll hand back to you, Christina, for a short introduction of BIC Africa before going into Barbara. We're starting with the content of today. Thank you very much again. I really appreciate everyone being here. Again, all questions in the chat, and we'll make sure that we deal with them.
Thanks a lot, Douglas. So indeed, before we dive into the content, I will just very briefly introduce the BIC Africa project for those of you who are unfamiliar with it or have not yet participated in our activities. Could you please switch to the next slide? Thank you. So just a few words about EBN, so the European Business and Innovation Center Network. We are the coordinators of the BIC Africa project. So as I introduced before, Robert and myself, we're part of the core team. So actually, EBN itself started as a European project back in 1985. And the mission of EBN was really to create a quality network of business incubators across Europe and beyond, who could support startups, SMEs, entrepreneurs that were mainly focusing on innovation. So actually today we provide really a wide range of technical business services and quality assessment and certification products. So what that means as well is that one of our core services is actually the certification of business incubators. And this type of certification actually serves as a kind of a proof to entrepreneurs who then get involved with those incubators, knowing that they will really be benefiting from high quality services and that they're reliable. So this is part of our core services. And so we have a wide range of network of EU BICs across Europe and beyond, who indeed this way provide really a complex spectrum of entrepreneurial innovation support, which includes incubation, acceleration, internationalization, access to funding, and community building to their client companies. So next slide, please. And yeah, so now to get into what really is BIC Africa. So actually, it's part of the EU program support to entrepreneurship and MSME creation. So this whole framework consists actually of 5 country projects. So as you can see in Ethiopia, Somalia, Comoros, Angola, and Madagascar, each of these individual projects really aim to establish and consolidate business incubators in their respective countries, with the long-term goal of creating jobs and sustainable livelihoods. And each of the projects are actually a little bit different and are also implemented by different partners. So if you see the project in Angola is implemented by IFC, the one in Ethiopia is implemented by German consultancy company Sequa, and the projects in Comoros, Madagascar, and Somalia are implemented by UNIDO. So in this scope, BIC Africa is actually a sixth project that really aims to create a regional network to interconnect these 5 projects in the different countries, and to provide additional capacity building and networking support and services to the whole, let's say, ecosystem in the region. Next slide, please. So a bit about our beneficiaries. So our direct beneficiaries are business incubators. We mostly work directly with business incubators and provide services for them. But of course, the final beneficiaries are entrepreneurs, SMEs, and startups. And we also work a lot with indirect beneficiaries, policymakers. For example, we also work a lot with EU delegations in the different countries, business angels, investors, universities, and so on. So there are a lot of actors from the ecosystem who are involved in this whole process. Next slide, please. All right, and just to again give you an idea of some of the services that we provide in BIC Africa in support of the different country projects. So first of all, we have the capacity building and skill development services. So this is, as I previously said, it's targeted at really at incubators, incubator managers. So our virtual training center, the session of today is of course part of this center. Is part of this capacity building and skill development services. And besides this, we also organize national and African boot camps, which are live capacity building trainings. We actually already held this in all the mentioned countries. Then we also aim to provide a better connection between European and African incubators. So we have what we call soft landing services, whereby incubator managers from Africa come to Europe for about a week's time. And well, this enables the incubator managers to learn from each other and understand how they're each running their incubators and their programs. And a similar version of this within Africa, which we call the staff exchange program. Again, hereby, as an example, we have an exchange between incubator managers from Comoros and from Madagascar who travel to each other's countries and again stay for about a week to learn from each other and see how the organization in different countries work. We also have what we call, quality assurance. So this is based on the EBN model that I mentioned before. We are doing quality assessment for incubators in the 5 mentioned countries. And finally, we have also other type of services like we held webinars with diaspora entrepreneurs. So these are successful entrepreneurs from the diaspora from the 5 countries in Europe and in the US, and we try to connect them basically with entrepreneurs from their countries of origin. And we have also some other networking activities, and specifically one service which is targeted exceptionally to entrepreneurs. That is our acceleration program for women entrepreneurs. And in that, we really run a 3-4 months program where we select about 20 established female entrepreneurs, and we try to accelerate their business. And doing all of this, of course, we also try to raise awareness about various opportunities in the countries, and just act as a network and try to establish connections and support the incubators. So I think that's it for the overview. If you go to the next slide, yes, perfect. So thanks a lot. I hope that gave a picture of more or less what we do in BIC Africa. And with that, I'd like to hand over the word to Barbara, and indeed very excited about today's session and hope all of you will benefit from it. Thank you.
Thank you, Christina and Douglas, for the introduction. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I hope you enjoy this section with us, and we separate some content that we hope it could be very useful for you. So we would like to understand a little bit about what do you think about your experience with digital marketing, and we would like to invite you to scan this QR code and share with us what do you know about it. And then I will ask to Matheus, please share with us the results on the cloud board. Okay, we have here for a while, this meantime. Yes, a lot. Great. Okay, Douglas shared the link with us on the chat too. Could be easiest for you. It's very nice. Okay, very interesting. So, okay, probably most of you.
Barbara, just wait a few, let's wait 30 seconds to give people a chance to respond.
Sure, okay. Let's see.
Yeah, Barbara, I think that's, yeah, we've got a good result there. So please do carry on.
Great. Okay, it's good to know that you have some knowledge, a lot of knowledge, or some of them about the digital marketing. This is important for us know about it. I'm going to start sharing my screen. Please let me know if you are going to see it. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, we do.
Yes? Okay, thank you so much.
But maybe you could just click on the hide button for...
Perfect. Okay, thank you. Now, is it better?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to start talking about brand value and market positioning. We already know from this point that you know something about digital marketing, but when we introduce these topics, brand value, marketing positioning, what comes to your mind about these concepts? This is one more invitation to know more about you. What is it means for you, brand value, marketing positioning? Let me show what you think about it. We have here some, now we have a word cloud. So we would like to know what you think about it. Could you please share with us if you think what it means? Okay, I'm going to wait a little bit. Okay, nice. We have here critical for success. Very nice. Success. Okay, effort. What you stand for. Great. Teamwork. Acceptance by customers. Very good. Stands out. Nice. Just a few more seconds. Plan. Okay. It makes sense, right? Oh, excellent. The experience they have created or will create with the customers. Nice. Mhm. Preference to the brand. Very good. Very good. Let's see what's the last participant are typing. Oh, cultural connection. Amazing. Authenticity. Uniqueness. See? You have a good idea about what is going on when we are talking about these topics. It's great. Let's go back to our presentation to start talking about it. Thank you so much for your participation. When we talk about brand value and marketing positioning, as you said, we are talking about a building differentiation and how we could start to do it. Here we have like a graphic, an idea of how could we structure the idea of the brand, messaging, and marketing alignment. Everything starts with the brand strategy at the beginning, at the top, or where we have the mission, value proposition, core values, brand voice, personality, brand positioning, tagline. This is about the statements of the brand. Following this, in the second part, we have the specific marketing positioning, what kind of message we are going to share with the market, with the customers, with the ecosystem. And finally, we have the tactic of it, campaigns, touch points, and everything else. Everything, as you working as an incubator or maybe in a startup, you know that everything begins with an idea, right? Solving some problem. And to building differentiation, it's very important to have a clear idea of purpose, because this clear idea is connecting us on the thread of how the brand will reflect your businesses. And when we are talking about the brand developing process, we have pretty much this scheme where we have here a problem. We need to understand the stakeholders, the needs, desires. We have a product modeling, and then we start to work on a brand because, as we said before, everything starts with an idea, right? And with this idea, the development of this idea, of this identification of the brand, we can build a brand platform where we can include brand values, promises, the voice of the brand, personality, and positioning statement itself. In the end of the day, the brand identity that we are used to think it's what the brand means, it's just a representation of the business. It's just a part of the branding value in itself. We have, I said, purpose, visual signs, brand experience, digital presence, tone of voice, the product, but it's everything that the audience can be perceive of your brand, of your product, because the brand is that what the audience, the customer could recognize. And this recognition, it's where we are going to work with. So to build brand value, we have what is tangible and intangible. On the tangible, we have what is like the price, the product itself, or maybe the service, the licensing fees are things more physical or visible. And what is intangible are the everything else that could connected with the customer emotionally, like loyalty, perceptions, trust, reputation. This is when we are going to try to capture the empathy, try to work them to bring them close to us. For example, if we take the Apple as an example, we have here what is tangible: iPhone, MacBook, iPad. What else? The products. We have the design. It's perceived the style, minimalist style of their design. We have the packaging. We have the stores. We have the technology. Everything. It's more tangible. We can see. We can make the differentiation. And when we are talking about the intangible, We are talking about the association of the brand with the luxury, with the innovation, simplicity. We are talking about values as innovation, creativity. They are user-centered, design and experience. They show us the sense of exclusivity, the same for the customer experience and for the community. This is a very interesting thing because everyone can do smartphones or laptops or what else, but they achieved this specific way to be perceived. And we, one more time, would like to know what you think about the tangible and intangible. Can you identify specific tangible and intangible assets that could add value to an incubator? Let's see, what do you think about it? Let me show you the results. Here we are. You can mix, okay, like what is tangible or intangible. You can share what you think about it for incubator. Let's wait a little bit. Very nice. Intangible trust. Yeah, it makes sense. Let's see. Communication style, right? This is intangible. Colors, right? This is pretty much tangible. Design, okay, tangible. Customer retention, nice, this is intangible. Social impact, okay, amazing. Experience and qualified staff, yes, this is very important. Perception of the public that this could be tangible, but it could influence the perception of the public about the brand. Expertise, excellent. Oh, we have some numbers here. SMEs, lifestyle, okay. Product, service, perfect. Lifestyle, great. Okay. Amazing. Great answers. We have here, as you can see, a mix of ideas about what tends the brand. And as we saw, as you were saying here, we have tangible and intangible things. Everything could be related to it. Let's see what these last participants are typing, and then we can move forward. Okay. Brand, smartphone is tangible, yes. Nice. Thank you so much for your participation once again. So, talking about an incubator, what is tangible? We have the physical space, the co-working laboratories, meeting rooms, maybe computers, other devices, technological devices. We have the networking, maybe the number of the partnerships that the incubator has. We have the benefits and services offered, like the number of the types of the trainings and courses. And we have the measurable results, for example, the survival rate of incubator startups and other results that could be tangible. Sorry. Someone opened the mic. Okay. And when we talk about the intangible for incubators, we have the reputation, recognition. So what's the image of the incubator in the marketing? What kind of awards, certifications It could be tangible because you have an award, you have a certification, but also it's like a mention, it's a recognition of something that you achieve. The brand equity, you are going to see more about it later, but it's the perception of quality, level of trust, emotional loyalty. We have also the culture, as you said before, and the identity. So, what's the values of that have been promoted by the incubator? You are like working, are you really working as an ecosystem, complementing each other, connecting to each other or not? And also the perceived impact. This is very important because when you are talking about ecosystem of innovation, it's very important to understand how your impact has been perceived, right? It could be like the inspiration or influencing to other entrepreneurs, or maybe in your local community. There are a lot of options that we could like play with this concept. So what we are talking here, that the brand goes beyond what the business does. Usually, we can think that like the Apple makes iPhones, she produces iPhones. No, the brand is the strategy that drives the businesses forward. So when we go back to the idea, a simple, not so simple, but a more graphic and initial and also assertive way to construct this idea, to have a more clear vision of what the company do, how the company works, and why is this golden circle from Simon Sinek. This is a simple, this is a very easily model to be understood. You have here the outcomes, what the company does, as I said, how it have been made, and the identity. Why? What's the fundamental beliefs of this incubator? And this will be related to the instincts and decision of the person. This is very interesting. For example, if we took the Tesla, sorry, we have here Tesla says why they exist. They could be like a company of cars, technological cars, but they believe in world's transitional, in energy transition. They made electric cars to prepare a more sustainable future. They have a why, a very intrinsic why. This is important because it's an statement. And how they do that? They develop innovative technologies, long-lasting batteries. They create products that combine design, performance, sustainability. They make sustainable products. What they do, they manufactures and sells electric vehicles, systems, and other devices. See, it's not what they do, but why. This is what are conducting the whole branch positioning of them. So, and we work with this branch positioning because we need to understand who is in the center of everything, right? When we have the idea of the business is solving some problem, is the problem of someone. So it's very important to put the customer at the center of our value proposition. And it could connect us, the purpose, the identity, that this clear idea to this person, to this possible customer that we are going to try to reach. So actually, customer desires brands that reflect their personal values, right? This is a graphic from Ipsos. This is a research institute that say most part of the people believe on it. They look for brands that reflect their personal values. This is very interesting. And how could we develop this value proposition? Here is a method. Maybe you already saw it before. It's very interesting, exciting way to define a value proposition. This is a way to get more empathy. So, okay, we have part of the company and the customer, and we need to correlate the gains with the gains creators, the customer jobs or lifestyle to the product and services, and the pains with the pains reliefs. So when we look to the company, we are trying to describe our products, services, pain relievers, gain creators. And when we look to the customer, we are going to take a look at what is happening with them. Social, emotional, what's going on with them, why they need it, what are their pains, what they are looking for, what their gains. They could just want a smartphone, but why are they choosing the Apple, right? What is happening here in this scenario? And this is a very interesting exercise to be made. And some tips and lessons about it. You need to start with empathy. This is the moment that you are looking for people with self. Okay, you can start with the research, look into the marketing, look into you can start bigger and then going understand better this person. But it's important to try to find this empathy as a person. This we are talking about connection, about building trusty authority. So also it's important to segment your customers. You could be more than one. For example, an incubator could have like a startup as in customer or different kind of startups, other partners, and other different stakeholders. So it's important to identify and segment all of them. Use specifics like what kind of job, what kind of pain, what kind of gains, and prioritize your pains and gains. It will help you to identify which kind of person are more near to the buyer process to buy something. And for example, if we are talking about building a value proposition, and if we think about Amazon's value proposition, it could be I believe everyone knows Amazon, of course, and we know that they are an online store. We can buy everything there. You can have it faster at your home, and it's like reliable. It's trustful. It's a platform that you can trust, right? So how could be their value proposition? Our online marketplace, because they connect to all other sellers, helps shoppers to want to purchase goods online by offering a vast selection of products. This is very nice because Sorry. Sorry. I'm just concluded because um, they are not just selling some product or some segment of product. They are selling everything that you can imagine you can find there. And in a convenient shopping experience, this is very nice because
ሙት የሚያደርጉኝ?
sorry, someone is talking.
Zigali, maybe I can ask you to turn off your microphone unless you're asking a question. Please carry on, Barbara.
Okay, thank you so much. So this could be a value proposition of Amazon. They talk about their place, what they are offering, their differential, and we can be the vast selection of products and convenient shopping experience as a differential. Very nice, right? So, okay, we talked about have a clear idea of the business. We talked about being more empathic with your public, and now how to create that brand values that we talked before, that the customers are looking for. What are the core principles, beliefs, and ideals? What is behind the brand? This will help us, the brand itself, to connect with the customer, to create the authentic brand value, and helping the customer for a decision making, to make a decision. Here are some examples about brand values. It's like an exercise that you could do with your team, with different persons of your businesses. For example, the most common brand values include integrity, innovation, sustainability, customer-centric, diversity, and social responsibility. You can have all of them, but is it really is it really connected with your brand value or not? It's important to choose some of them. We are talking about authenticity. It's good to have more than one, and what the number of you think it would be necessary, right? But you need to identify what really express your values. For example, we have functional values like reliability, efficiency, convenience. We have emotional values like trust, joy, confidence. We have self-expressive values like how could the brand be associated to others, and social values supporting local communities, reducing food carbon footprint. This is a mix that you can do, that you can try to find. It's very good, interesting, and you will see it's important for brand your message, for building your message too. Because the question is how to positionate an innovation driven organization, right? We are talking about incubators or startups that are in innovation environment. How to positionating yourself on it. So it's important. Combine a clear market vision with a consistent execution. It could be easiest to say, or but the consistent execution and the clear market vision need some effort to achieve them. Also, it's important deliver real value, not just promises. Please avoiding promises. Also, create some positive impact on the journey of the incubated startup. Sorry, this will help the perceiving of your brand. I brought to you an example about this growth studio. It's an incubator from England. And these are some numbers. They are working the whole world, almost the whole world. They have a good number of startups. And what they say about themselves, they would like to fix in the planet. They work with environmental and climate impact. And of course, they help their clients to do that. This is a clear statement, right? And you can see it in the whole communication, the whole package. For example, in their website, the first thing that you say that you can see is change the world, turning startup solutions into profitable businesses. They have a statement here. Also on Google or on LinkedIn or on their mission, they have a clear market vision. And beyond that, they also have programs related or related to sustainability. So they are focused on it. They are delivering real value. They promise it and they are delivering it. Beyond that, they also have been causing a positive impact and increasing the credibility of their ecosystem because they are doing some partnership with the Amazon. This is a very trustable brand. So everything here is going to impact the startup brands too. They are building brand differentiation. They are creating value for startups. So, if you are thinking in a constant innovation environment, how to maintain yourself as an competitiveness business? And here we would like to know more about you. What do you think that should be avoided when it comes to marketing positioning? Let's see. What should be avoided? Let's wait a little bit. Yeah, true. Copying what other incubators are doing, it's not building differentiation at all. Yes, you're right. Let's see if someone else would like to share some thoughts with us. Oh, great. False expectations. Worst. No, no. And inconsistency. Very bad also. Inconsistent messaging. Yes, awful. You're right. True. Very good point here. Ignoring cultural sensitivity. Yes, this is part of you have knowledge about where are you positioned, what's your participation or impact. You need to understand the cultural around you, or building a culture in your own company. This is very good point. Inconstant messaging, copy others, okay. Having false address. Okay. Ignoring competitors, yes. Good point. It's not a good strategy looking, not, it's not a good strategy not looking to the competitors. You're right. Okay. Let's see if someone else would like to share something else. Okay. Okay, two more participants. Let's see. Okay, that's okay. We have here a good thoughts about we should avoid. One more person, and then we can go on. Okay, customer preference attitude. Yeah, we need to understand how to build the relation with the customer, right? Okay, going back to our presentation, what we shouldn't do, what we should avoid. Don't be generic. To build a strong brand, we need to understand what we want to do, what we could do, what are our internal assets. This is very important. Also, don't be inconsistent, as you said before. Send mixed or contradictory messages could be very confused, turn the process more complex. People are going to be lost in your message, in your brand, and going skip you to the next incubator to understand better than their job. Also, don't be irrelevant. When we're talking about positioning the brand, it's important that the content, that the statement resonate with the person, with the target audience. So you need to understand and address their needs, their preferences, connect emotionally with them. Don't be over promising. It's awful when you receive some promise and you cannot, and you didn't receive that. It's bad. Everybody already had some bad experience with products or services. You will always think and remember it. So don't be overpromised at all. Don't be too complex when you're talking about brands. Creating a positioning, if you create a positioning too complex with too much values, with too much information, with too much, you can be all of that, but it needs to be understood by the audience, by the person, the customer. So we talked about what should not be done, and now I would like to invite you to share with us what do you think about the best practices for an active market positioning, what we should do, what you have been done and you see that have been working with them, what kind of practice. Let me change for the results. Okay, we have here a cloud board. Then you can share your thoughts with us. I don't know if I was too fast with the QR code. You can tell us on the chat. Okay, 2 participants typing, nice. Very good. Building a strong emotional connection. Yeah, it definitely could be done. Enhance our values. Great. Numbers. Knowing your target audience precisely. Excellent. Very, very good. Being relatable. Nice. Plan. It's important. Being consistent. Amazing. Understand your clients. Excellent. Know your market. Ooh. Being partial or rational. Okay. In B2B businesses, this is a very important thing. Keep on new updates to know your customers. Yes, this is very important too. This is a way to build this relation with them, right? Keeping them knowing about the news. This is very important too. Nice. Nice, strong digital presence. Great. Be innovative. Yes. Understanding the geographic effect of your marketing campaign. Perfect. Perfect. What do you want to achieve? Where do you want to achieve? Who? This is important. Building trust. Okay, amazing. Product sampling. Yes, very nice. Very good. This is indeed it's a very good strategy when we are talking about services. Okay, consistent, measurable, and adapt. Perfect. Use innovative and attractive promotional strategies. Great. Very good. Amazing. You have good ideas. Very good thoughts about it. Very nice. So let's go back to the presentation. Let's see if the last participant. Okay, we can go back there. Thank you so much again for your participation. And go back to the presentation. Okay, what we should do beyond what you said, you are amazing. First thing at all, we need to keeping on track the marketing, in understanding the marketing dynamics. Map the competition, understand the target audience. And I think in B2B businesses, it's very important not only saw the other competitors as competitors, but also as in market asset because they are offering something that you can offer to or offer better or offer in a different way. So it's a very good to keep it in mind and tracking the competition. Also, you can be specialized in some niche. For example, in some sector, agribusinesses, health, fintech, sustainability, or Maybe you can be specialized in startups at specific stages. For example, ideation, acceleration, scaling. Maybe you can also be specialized on social and solutions, technology solutions. For example, AI, blockchain, IoT. This help us to build that differentiation, this positioning at the market. Also, you can offer exclusive benefits, for example, innovative research, personalized programs, privileged access to something, to someone, differentiated financial support models. This is very important because what is the startups are always looking for is to have a long life, prolong their lives, and survive to the first years. And also, you can, for example, invest in experience and relationships. For example, high level mentor networking, engage your community in meetups, events, foster the collaboration on the ecosystem, and also make some strategic partnerships. I like this example of loyalty programs because when we are talking about products, maybe you can think more easily about it. If you have a product, you can give a sample or you can do some specific campaign. But when we are talking about B2B businesses, about growing other businesses, this could be a very differential in your incubator. Probably you can work with digital loyalty programs or points-based program, maybe page programs or mission driving programs that could be related to your values. This is, there are a lot of options here that you can work with. Think about what could be more effective, what do you want to help, what could help you to make this statement. And now, until this point, we talked about this building this differentiation, positioning on the marketing, and I'm going to share the presentation with my colleague Mateus because he's going to introduce you the second part of this part of the section. Okay.
Hello, everyone. Please, Barbara, could you...
Sorry.
So, hello, everyone. I am Mateus Avila, and I will present you the second part of this first block, as Barbara said. And it will be about brand equity. First, I want to thank you, Douglas, Christina, and Robert for the organizing the event and inviting us to be the presenter, to present it. And that's it. Thank you, guys. So about brand equity. What is brand equity? Brand equity is a concept that complement what the previous concept that Barbara spoke to us. The idea of brand equity is to understand, most of the times using numbers, what is the value, what the consumer, the client's understanding, but from a quantitative point of view. It's a little bit different perspective, but most of the concepts that Barbara spoke as perceived quality, loyalty, they are part of brand equity. We try with brand equity measure and understand this concept not only in a qualitative perspective, but measure the numbers and try to understand it. So brand perception is other of those concepts. And why brand equity is relevant? It's relevant because it give us a new way to understand what our brand is, what it represents, what we are strong in, what we should pay more attention, what we can build in using it. Most of times you even understand that you are strong in parts that you didn't thought you are stronger, or you weak in parts that you thought that you are stronger, because you go in a consumer's perspective. So that's the idea of this concept. Some of the components that we are going to talk about are the brand awareness, brand association, perceived quality, and brand loyalty. We decided to present these concepts because they are the stronger ones related to brand equity. They are the most commonly used for the brands to understand what the brand represents. I will speak a little bit about each one. Brand awareness represent what people, when your brand is present in an event, in a product, in not only your product, but could be as a partnership with other company, what people understand by that. What are the, brand association goes to the values that you share using your brand, the reputation that your brand represent. So people will trust more in your product. People will understand that it's a good product because it's your product, and that's what brand association tries to measure. Perceived quality go around the brand association, but it's more focused on the trustable, the reliability of your product. So they will choose your product because they assume the product will fulfill every demand that they have. And by the end, the brand loyalty represent the long-term engagement, but in more sense, like they will buy again your product because they trust in that. They feel that your product is the best one. They will share with friends that, okay, buy, if you're gonna buy this product, buy this from this company. And in our organization, in a B2B perspective, it can be also used because other entrepreneurs, other organizations will tell, okay, this incubator is the best one to find the resources, is the best one to teach marketing, is the best one to help us on our structure, in our internationalization. So all these concepts could be adapted easily for B2B. They are used for B2B and B2C. So what do you think, as a first question, if you could share us what you believe is the strongest part of your brand equity? Could be in a more general way, could be like I believe I have a good internationalization, I believe I have a good partnerships, but we want to know more about you in this sense. Let me share you the slide.
Mateus, maybe you could share the link. I don't have it
Yes.
on my screen.
Okay. Okay. Let me get it. So, no, sorry, wrong button. So,
No, Mateus, on the chat, could you share the link to the question?
yes, Logos, I'm just
Or
getting
maybe
it.
Barbara can do it, please.
Okay, I got it. I sent by the chat right now. So consumer experience, it's amazing. It's a really good. If your consumers trust on you, if your brand represents that, it will make you reliable for other companies. People will share your company with other ones, recommend it. The community, the service, the knowledge, all of them really your brand equity perspectives. Consumer experience, brand awareness. Brand awareness could be being you will be present, people will understand, people will know you, people will have a little curiosity about your name, your quality, and what you made to be relevant. And while differentiation from the competition is always the best one, because that's what we are trying to do a little bit more, to be the one that is trying to do more. If you have it in your organization, you are doing a really great job. Product quality, colors, value, new addition, branding, service, that's really good. Mostly those ones, it could be really connected to the brand awareness, colors mostly. I think no one more is answering. Thank you for the participation. All of them are really relevant for it. Let me go back to the slides. Give me a second. Okay, thank you. Another one that I read before I closed the last one was being founded by a woman. That is amazing to give us the perspective that you are trying to do, even in the scenarios that could not be that favorable. So it will create a connection with other women that will create a safer and a better environment for it. About perceived quality, one of the concepts that I spoke of, we have the idea of brand equity, as I said before, is to measure and have the numbers about it. So we do that with questions as the quality of our brand is very high, and we use the Likert scale to understand. So you do a affirmation that could be a really big one or just a small one, short, straightforward, but you try to measure with the stakeholders if they disagree with this information or they agree. And you have most of the time is 5, so it will be extremely disagree, somehow disagree, neutral, somehow agree, and strongly agree. And with those, you will have, with those answers, you will have the numbers to comprehend what this affirmative, this concept really fits on, sorry, is really understandable by our clients or consumer or stakeholders. You have the brand loyalty, you have other concepts about brand awareness and association, and you always keep some short questions. Could be longer, but the idea is being straightforward. So there's not the only ones that you can use it for brand equity. You have the overall brand equity that is more just for questions that goes to each one of the concepts that I told before and get those numbers. To get those numbers, usually we go for surveys. You get really the quantitative data, but the idea is more like you will do a survey, you will have 10, 20, how much answers you could get, and you will do an analysis about the survey, trying to understand which concepts really fit our brand, which concepts are understood as we want it to be. And with those results, we try to do a qualitative research to get a little bit more for those numbers. These numbers has a good idea, but you need to understand why we are going bad, why we are going good, and that's where the qualitative research goes as a complement of the quantitative one. It's important to say that the brand equity is not only those concepts. You can adapt for the concepts that you think is more relevant, that you think fits better your brand, and like you can go for a brand loyalty that has a focus on repurchase, and you can go for brandy other kinds of concept that will fit in a different perspective. There is some concepts that go straight for repurchase intention, so they will go direct on what we want to have as an idea. So using this results, what we want in the with brand equity is to understand how to attract our consumers and how to attract our clients. Could be entrepreneurs, could be other companies, could be partners. So depend which stakeholder are you trying to understand. And with brand equity, that is the idea that you will not just understand what they understand about our business, but you will also understand what the clients, the stakeholders demand for our business. Like if they don't see this in your business, it's probably something that they wanted to see. The reason why they are not doing business of you, or the reasons why they may be changing for the other organization that do your business, your type of service. So one example that I bought here is the plug and play. It's a Silicon Valley accelerator that they have a stronger position bringing resources, money resources to the companies that they support. So how they share the brand equity. After the researchers, they have one page for each stakeholder that they had, showing what the stakeholder got with the company, what they felt with the company, what they thought about their company. So why limit ourselves to just have understand the brand equity from the direct consumers? We can try to understand this from partners, corporation, from the public sector, from the startups, the investors. So we try to not only focus on one group, but we're trying to see the different perspectives that our brand equity has on the other partners. And other example that I bought here was Sebrae. It's a Brazilian, it's not government anymore, but they was some years ago. Right now they are a private company that it's more like a GMO. It's not it's part of the government, receive money from the government, but it's not focused on the money itself. They are more focused on sustainability and keeping helping other organizations. Sebrae, they do an incredible work giving courses, teaching companies how to structure, how to build in all sectors possible. They right now in Brazil, they 1/4 or so 25% of the companies reach Sebrae every month to somehow get their knowledge, get their support, and try to improve with what Sebrae could provide to them. And this was something that was not built in 5 years, 6 years. It was not a short time. brand equity usually comes with a long time, consistent service, consistent work that will get this value, that will bring your qualities and will make your stronger points. So this is something that you as an incubator needs to thought that, okay, I have 10 years of service here in the country, and some companies trust on me, but we need to have a plan to, in 30 years, in 40 years, we are going to be the best in our sector. We are going to the best on this. And this will make you as stronger as Brai was in Brazil, is in Brazil. So it's a lot of long time efforts that will get you the qualities that you want. And two things that are really relevant about Sabrai is the digital growth and the pandemic support. So they are really good on adapting. Every time a new scenario comes, they understand the scenario and they try to plan it in a short term, mid term, and long term to give the companies what they need. So they started on the internet since 2022. So it was 22 years and they started really early in the business, in the internet sector. So if you see an opportunity, go for it, plan, understand, and build your brand equity. And as I said, the plan is always necessary for it. Let's go for the next one. So other concept that we want to give you, support you, it's a little bit connected to the brand equity, but it's more like a different perspective, in the sense that we want to show you a little bit about the internationalization and how brands could use it as a strong point of view. So the idea here is to show you a little bit about some companies and some actions that would support you, that you could support and give you to your companies that are part of your incubator or accelerator. So first of all, when you try to internationalize think about your business itself, the first thing you should do is a market research, because each region, its market thinks different. Even inside our country, it's not the same city by city. They will understand your message different, even if you show the same words and the same image, because the perspective is different, the concept is different, and it's necessary to understand. And it's the same that fits pretty well for internationalization, in the sense that if you want to provide the companies with service that support internationalization, you need to find what regions are interesting for them, how this region could react to the product or service. You can build networking with other companies that are there and provide this kind of service, or a soft landing service that could help the entrepreneurs to get on that market. Also, it's always necessary adapt your message to, maybe even your call could change a little bit just to make more acceptable by the country that you are trying to reach. And of course, the compliance, the rules, the legal perspective is other thing that you should pay attention, because each country has different rules. Europe, most of the times, keep the same in all the countries, but if you go to Latin America, you have a really different perspective. If your company wants to go to Asia, it will have a really completely different perspective. So this analysis is necessary, and when you have it, when you are good at it, companies that wants to be global, startups that wants to be a unicorn, they will trying to reach you to have the support. And the digital marketing is the best marketing, the best market to understand it. When you have the internet, you have access to informations, behaviors that this country has, and you can use it easily to try to understand this before going to that market. You can see companies that do a service or a product similar to you. You can try to understand the cultural aspects, how they manage the social media, how they are doing the work inside that region, and not try to mimic it, but trying to be different, but respecting those differences. So, as I told before, identify your marketing, understand that your product, your service is really necessary there, to not put efforts and money without understanding it. You need to understand if it's really needed, if it's not too risky to try. It's not being afraid of risks, but it's more like if the market is not prepared for a product or a service, it's better to reach different markets that are more prepared to it. No. And well, being a startup that has this connection, has this support, is a really big difference in the world that we have today. And by the end, we have always the action plan that is really recommended, that you get the informations, you understand the market, accept you, the market need you, you have a partnership that will help with soft landing. So let's plan it, let's organize, let's put in the paper, in the presentation, let's to understand what we can do to support it and to help it. Okay, so this was the second part of the first block. We're going to do a break right now for how much?
Thank you so much, Matthias and Barbara. We have one question, but if it's okay, because I think people would appreciate a break, I'll talk to it about it over the break and see if we can answer it as we go through the part B, which is on inbound marketing. Christina and Robert, I would suggest it's now, I would suggest a 15-minute break to 15, so which would take us to say 15 minutes before the hour. I know some people are on different time zones at the moment. So I would suggest a 15-minute break, and then we can go back into parts B, C, and D, if that's okay. Just Christina and Robert can confirm that's okay.
Thank you.
Excellent. Before we go into break, thank you so much for your interaction. As you can see, we really wanted to make there to be interaction within this type of environment. So we have used a lot of Slidos, and we want to continue to do that because we really appreciate your opinions. Any other questions when we come back, please do put them in the chat, and we'll make sure that, of course, that they're either answered immediately or pushed to be answered during the rest of the sessions. Thanks again for Barbara and Matthias. Have a well-deserved 15-minute break, and we shall see everyone in 15 minutes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I don't know if you can, if everyone is back online, but we would like to start maybe in. We'll give an extra 2 or 3 minutes, so we'll start in 2 or 3 minutes time.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. I don't know if everyone can see me. Hi. Let me move this out of the way. So I think Barbara and Matthias, we can see you now.
Great.
Okay. So I think we gave an extra 1 minute, so maybe we give just another minute for people to come back after the break, and then we can start.
Okay, sure.
Okay, I think people have come back now had a chance to come back now from the break. Thank you so much for coming back. I hope the break was good. We're going to start again we're going to restart with part B, inbound marketing. I'm going to hand over to Barbara for that. So again, please do keep up the interaction through the Slidos. That's very good for us. So thank you so much. And any other questions via the chat. Excellent. So Barbara, please do carry on.
Okay, thank you, Douglas. Hello, everybody. Let me share with you my screen. Okay, and then we can go back to the presentation. Okay, great. Now we're gonna talk about inbound marketing. As we said, as you told us in the beginning of this presentation, you know something about digital marketing. So probably, I believe you also know something about inbound marketing too. So what is inbound marketing? We know that the first interactions, we know and we believe, we can assume that the first interactions with your brand will likely happen online because mainly in B2B, we have like searchers, and the inbound marketing is the process that turn these searchers into customers. So we work with attraction, increasing the awareness. We nurture the leads or visitors during the consideration stage, and we also work with this content to convert them, to make them, helping them to make a decision, and fortunately have this new customers from all these digital marketing stages. So the content is the center of the inbound marketing. We know that 91% of B2B companies use content marketing. 70% of the customers prefer to learn about a company through content online. Companies that consistently publish relevant content generate 6 to 7 more leads. These are very important facts because we know that when we are talking about B2B, the competition is about how qualified, how technical, how trustful, what you have to offer. It's more rational, even that the decision could be more emotional. But okay, so content marketing is the way that we use to create and sharing values and relevant content to attract these visitor users, searchers into customers. So we would like to know about you, which channels you have been using, or actually, which of these channels have been most effective in attracting leads in your lead generation process? You know that we have some different channels, for example, email marketing, website, social media, paid media, or other options. Let me see, what are you sharing with us?
Yes, the link is also in the chat. Or
Perfect. Thank you so much, Douglas. Oh, okay. Facebook. Interesting. LinkedIn. Great. Social media, especially Instagram and Facebook. Social media. Very good. This is very interesting. Telegram. Great. LinkedIn is okay. It's the most effective, right? Okay. Just a little bit seconds. Telegram, Instagram, TikTok. Oh, this is new TikTok. I love it. Company website, perfect. Neighborhood activation. Very good. Okay. I think we have some ideas here, and LinkedIn, social media are the most effective channel. Okay, SEO, great. I'm very happy that someone talked about TikTok here. This is very exciting. Okay, ATL and BTL campaigns. Okay, let's see what else, and then we can move forward. Oh, perfect. I think it's all. Let's see. Okay. Facebook. Okay, and Instagram. Okay. Thank you so much for your participation. It's very interesting. I think you would like to know also about what kind of channels are working more, right? So, as I said before, and as you identified, uh, we have different types of channels, and a lot of them are effective. They can be effective differently for each company, and as you saw on the word cloud, it depends of the company, it depends of the kind of activation. But we have websites, social media, online search for supplier, interactive tools, customer portals, virtual products. There are a lot of options. For example, blog, videos, and different kinds of ways to reach the possible the buyers, prospects, and engage them into a digital supplier purchase process. So we talked about branding positioning, and here in inbound marketing, we also need to identify the marketing. But here is different. We need to getting attention, but to getting attention of who, right? Here we can work with buyer personas on inbound marketing. And why? Which? What's the difference between the buyer personas or with the Canvas value proposition? Let me show you a little bit more about the personas. So the idea of the personas is sharpening our inbound focus. So it's create a fictional representation of this ideal customer. So it will be based on real data and real behaviors, And we can do it based on some research with real customers, identifying demographic details, goals, challenges, behaviors. As someone said before in some Slido exercise, we need to identify a little bit more about the culture of the person, a little bit more about who is the person itself. And this is pretty much the framework that could be used to have a detailed profile of a person. We have here a quotation, we have the age, work, family, occasion, like maybe the archetype of this character of this person, his personality, its personality, goals, frustrations, bio, whatever. We have a lot of information that we can use, and it could be very useful because not because yet, but why this is important? Because, okay, I am going to talk about it because this is important because we need to tailored content for them. So we are just going to connect with them if we know more about them, know more about the pains, but not also about the pains, but what we need to offer them in terms of message, in terms of value proposition, but in terms of what we would like to share with them to getting their attention. So how do we start gathering person information? We could do direct interviews. Maybe you could choose some of your most perfect customers and interview them, understand them. How was the process for them to find the incubator? What they were considering, what they was afraid of, what was their challenge, behaviors, objectives. Interview this person, or you can make online surveys to a community, to some other startups, or you could took some information from direct customer feedback. Maybe your sales could share with you some information about them, or also you could access analytical data from analytics, social networks, CRM platforms. Maybe take a look on the market. It could be very helpful to you building this persona and the legs that the other channels could be made, have been missed, the information have been missed, and also competitor analysis. It could be helpful too. Examples, being practical, example of questions for incubators when we're trying to gather more information about personas. So what is the profile of the entrepreneur? What the typical entrepreneur's age, gender, academic background, areas of specialization, experience, current stage of the startup, if they participate of some incubation or acceleration programs before, or maybe you can also understand the motivation and objectives, what they are seeking for, what their goals are, the challenges, biggest challenge, fears, also the relationship with the incubator, what kind of support they consider most valuable, or maybe the behavior of working style. They prefer work from home, working from the incubator place. What about the startups market and target audience, local, national, international? What kind of end customers they have? Or also, it could be very interesting to know more about their impacts and values. So how the startups contribute to the innovation ecosystems? What are their core values? Are the same that yours or not? These are some ideas of questions that you can make. Maybe, okay, in this case, it's a lot of questions. It could work better in a one-on-one conversation. And you can also make a different questions, not forgetting about the demographic ones. Okay, this is just beyond that. But you can build it, construct it, doing interviews, doing conversations, and designing this profile. And it could be look like that. Mary, the artist, she's 26, single. This is a random profile, but we have a bio of her. We can understand their needs, points, what she like to do, some sentences of her, what is important for her. This is very interesting. because, as I said, we can tailor it content and also delivery of value. Here I brought to you an example from Vacano. It's a incubator from Paris, from France. And what they have here, they have a page on their website where they show more content about the Vacano itself, about education, and about financement and portrait. This portrait section is about the partners, the startups incubated. But it's very interesting because they choose it some sections. They highlighted some sections here about education and about financement. They know about their persona. This is very important because they know that the people are going here looking for some specific information. Also, another good example from Growth Studio is to assist their audience providing some assertive answers for common questions. It gets my attention because the first question is, does Growth Studio comply with the Fair Work First policy? This is very specific. It's not a common first, asked questions. They know about their audience. They know about their persona. So once we know about our persona, we can work more in our marketing funnel from awareness to conversion. So how works the marketing funnel? We have the awareness, consideration, and decision stages. In the top of the funnel, we find people who are not really ready for buy something, but they are looking for, they intend to know more about some subject. So this prospect is searching for some solution, then they can get introduced into your brand, learn more about the problem. Now you are turning yourself as an authority because they are considering you as a reference in some subject. And then when they have all the objections solved, they could be ready for the decision. This marketing funnel helps us as marketing, you as company, and also the buyer to go into a flow, helping them to make a decision, right? And for us, what is important to brand awareness, to generate leads, providing information, and educate the ecosystem. So, what's the goal of the each stage? The first one is attract visitors in informative, educational content. The second one is convert these visitors into leads, flirting with the possibility of being something else with this prospect, maybe turn them a customer, and then finally help them, lead them to make a final decision. What kind of contents you can use per stage of the funnel? So when you are talking about awareness, you can use it, blogs, infographics, statistics, checklists, podcasts, ebook, everything that could be show your knowledge about it. When we are on the consideration stage, we can be more concise in terms of the technical part, or more maybe rational in the sense of compare something, showcase showcase studies, interactive content, maybe download something that could help them during some specific process. And then on the decision stage, you could maybe give a free sample, or maybe doing some product review, offer them some competitive analysis about your or other incubators. I don't know. This is a thing that you can work to prepare yourself and prepare them to the next stage. But talking about the different types of content, we have here, for example, podcasts. This incubator West BIC have been using the podcast as a tool, and they put these podcasts available on Spotify or Apple, YouTube, and they are exploring this content on their website also, and of course on social media. This is a very interesting, it's very modern. The podcasts are increasing the consumption of them. Also, for example, we have the use of case of success. The Veritech incubator have been using these success stories to show their value, to show the trusty and how they have been helping these startups. This is a very good way to show your value, right? And for example, preparing comparative guides, like how to choose the right incubator program for your startup. What do you should do? What do you should consider, right? And thinking about the funnel and about this bunch of possibilities, we would like to know what part of the funnel is in your organization have you been facing most challenges? If you have been working with it.
Barbara, maybe it's an idea to put the slides of the funnel up showing so that people can remember the parts of it.
Of course, sure. So we have the top of the funnel when we are offering more content, information, awareness. The consideration is when we are going to turn visitors into leads. And then decision stage is when we are turning leads into customers. Okay. Let me see the results. Oh, nice. Attraction is in the first place. So the top of the funnel have been the most challenging stage for you, for most of you right now. Okay. Then the decision, it makes sense too. And okay, the consideration in third. Let's wait a little bit. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so we can see here that the attraction is the most challenged part of the funnel, followed by decision in the bottom, and okay, the third is the middle of the funnel. Nice, very nice. Okay, thank you so much. So back to the presentation. It's interesting the awareness stage that have been the most difficult challenges for you. How could we try different strategies to overcome this challenge? So on the attraction or the top of the funnel, when we are working on awareness, if your problem is low traffic, low visibility, maybe what could be causing it is if you are advertising something, maybe the target of your advertisers, or maybe your content is not relevant. Maybe do you have some problem with your SEO, and maybe the social media campaigns have been receiving low engagement. So what you could do, maybe you could take a look on your content. What could be most important for your persona, or for your value proposition? What you should show show in the first moment, in the first place. We are talking here about the website, okay? We know that website is the one of the most trustful platform of a brand. So most of you said in some of the previous slides that you have been received gaining some leads from the social media, right? If the social media have been so useful to you, you need to invest on the social media campaigns to take your audience to go to the website to register them into the forms to follow your newsletters or something that bonds this relation. And okay, and now talking about the consideration, the middle of the funnel. If you have low engagement, it's so difficult to turn these visitants. We have a lot of visitants on the website. We have a lot of views on my social media posts, but I don't have leads. I have a problem to generate leads. You need to take a look. If you have this lack of qualification of leads, you need to take a look on your call to actions. For example, are you using call to actions on your posts? Are you using call to actions on your website, on your on your channels? Because you need to think that it's important, like build this relation, build this circle that you are leading this lead to some place that is the decision. So you need to take a look about how have you been getting their attention. Maybe something that is getting, it's like it's missing something. And also in the bottom of the funnel, if you have problem to turn these leads into buyers, like they raise their hands and say, hey, I'd like to know more about your product, maybe you can help me. If you're having this kind of problem with the sales closure, you need to understand if you have some lack of the value propositions, or maybe are you really solving the objections from the leads. Talking about your with your sales team, what are the most challenges argument of them? Probably all of you already heard about maybe prices, but uh, there are more things that you can work or say or understand that could overcome this main objective at all. Like the price will be a problem for everybody in general, but what you have to justify the price. This you until this point could be gathered, you know. This is important to understand the objections of the customers and what do you have to overcome the price. That probably it's the most common objection. So now I'm going to give it a place to Matheus talk about it, this part.
Hello again. So, after what Barbara explained about inbound marketing, I believe this question is, we already got a good answer about it. The why measure inbound marketing? Because it will help us to understand where our clients are in the funnel. We can understand the gaps inside the funnel, and we can align our content, our marketing to make the people that are in awareness level goes into the decision and be a client. So that's why we should measure it, because we will understand more about our business and we are going to be more profitable because we are going to have more clients. But what are the tools to use to measure the inbound marketing? Usually the most common tools used to it are the Google Analytics SEMrush, that's not here, but it's a really used for it. Social media usually has a part for analytics, like meta analytics for Instagram and Facebook, or LinkedIn analytics for LinkedIn, and email marketing platforms. Like there's a lot. I believe Barbara has a lot of experience with it, but I can say that's, I don't know. Could you give some good examples, the best ones?
The best one tools to analyze social media.
No, email marketing.
Sorry. Yes. We have like different tools to work with email marketing platforms. For example, we have free ones like MailChimp, or there are others that you can find on Google also, but MailChimp is the most famous one. And we have the most like robust, for example, HubSpot or Microsoft tools and others that we can build the same in the different level, because each tool is different. But we have a bunch of them.
Thank you, Barbara. I knew that you had a lot of experience with it, so why not use it? So let's go and analyze a little bit about the funnel itself. So what metrics are relevant for the first part of the funnel, that is the awareness? So we'll have on the website total visitors and unique visitors. We can divide the total visitors by the unique visitors, and then you have how much time a visitor went to your website. And it's important to say that each part of your website represent a part of the funnel. So just visit the website could go easily on the awareness, but if someone is searching for our products, searching for our service, they are already on the consideration part of the funnel. So you need to analyze your website, not just the total numbers, but each part to represent what part of the funnel it is. The social media reach is one of the most common awareness measure, because you understand how much on the social medias how much people in the social medias you are reaching. The website, you can get also the SEO performance, that is the search search engine optimization, that represent how much you are performing on Google or Bing and other search platforms. And it will help you to understand that if people are searching for a service or a product that you have it, you go there and you try to see and understand if you are in the first page, if you are in the second page. In the region, you can see what regions are reaching you, what keywords are more relevant for you, and the ones that you are using well or not. So the SEO is really important part for all the funnel, but for the awareness has a special attention. And brand mentions on social media. If you did an event with another company and it was a partnership, you helped somehow. If they tag you on the social media, it will help with awareness. This is a really good way to reach people that are not in your bubble, in your catalog, but they could be in the partner. So there could be a client from a partner, and then with this tagging, they will know you a little more and be curious to reach you out about something. Also, for awareness, a way to improve it is showing some programs or success stories and tagging the person from the history, not just create a page for it, but tagging the person on LinkedIn, tagging the person or other social media, even in the website, so the person could see that the history about him was posted and could share to other persons, could tell friends, and this will increase your awareness. You bring more people to you. And well, with SEO, you can also be more focused on the ones that you want to target. And of course, it will improve all your consideration and decision in the next further process, parts of the funnel. About the consideration, we are already have someone that has the interest and they are engaging somehow with our company. So they are not in decision already yet. They are not wanting exactly our product. They are not in the buy moment, but they are already interested. They already understand, and for it, we have some measures that are the engagement rate, that all the social medias have it, the lead conversion that brings people to be a lead in our website or social media, the emails when we have email marketing. When they open our email is a sign that they are already considering our company. They're not just aware of it. And the returns visitor that are the number that I spoke previously about the total visitors divided by the unique visitors. So we can find the ones that how much people are visiting more than once our website. So they are not just aware, but they are interested on it. For it, we can track our website and the pages. We can improve our lead conversion and use the engagement to it. We can identify what are the key points that we need to improve. If a lot of people in consideration are checking one specific product, what we can make our service, what we can make to improve it, to make the person buy it itself, to make the client go to the next phase of the funnel. And with this data, we can understand better of it. So, okay, let's go to decision. And about decisions, I went a little bit more specific on incubators and accelerators here. So what could be good numbers for the decision phase? It will be the startups that accepted to be on our board. So they already did the decision. They are already our client, and understand, ask them, understand why they did this decision, what make them did this decision is a key information to make us improve the decision step. The application rate is a good decision metric because you will see how much people are really interested and what make them interested. Analyze what are the areas, where are the region those organizations are, what is could be even the time that they went, what was happening. It was happening an event that make a lot of people do application rate there. So we must do more events to increase even more the percentage, the application rate. Partnerships could be a good way to decision, not direct. Could not be direct our client, but being a partner will show us to the other clients that they have interest in us. The company trusts on us to be a partner. So it's still a decision. It will not necessarily be a client, but it helps us to understand all the process and the founding success in trying to measure how much startups got external funding. So one of the most important objectives for an accelerator mostly is to bring funding for the incubators. So it will be another client in a different perspective, but it's still a good way to understand the decision funnel. And it will create and well, to improve the decision, we can use the examples that Barbara gave previously that show the tailor content to the specific clients that we have it. We should use the analytics to understand the numbers, understand what is happening, what's going on, and see what the numbers mean. And by the end, measure how effective we are being with this process. So about the question about what analytics tool would you like to learn a little bit more? So maybe in a future training, we can specify this tool and bring it specific on and with a more focus on that.
Yeah, yes, thanks, Matthias. This is an important question for us because we'd like to extend this, obviously, and this session further through BIC Africa and other means to and it's more so it's very good for us to understand which analytical tools which would be useful to focus on in the future. I've put the link into the chat.
Okay, we already have two Google Analytics. It's one that I really like to work with. It's one that I use almost every day. SEO, really important, I believe. At this moment is one that the most important key feature that you must have it is adapting, because everywhere the describes the way how Google and other websites and other social medias get your content and analyze it is different. So if you are good at this SEO and could and be an adapted person, you will have really good results on the marketing area. And then I believe email marketing too is really good. Let's wait the last
Matthias,
one and go.
just to interject, of course, as you and I work together a lot on, and I know you use Google Analytics. So if you did, we have a little bit of time. If there was any other points you wanted to make about how to use Google Analytics or the use of it, then of course I think people would be interested to know.
Okay. If you have any specific question, I believe we can guide with the question to help a little bit to understand.
Perhaps an example of how you used it recently on one of the more recent projects.
Okay. Let me think. Use it in one project we are trying to understand what regions of the world was reaching us. So we had a focus on Europe on this specific project, and we were trying to see if the rest of the world was. We are trying to understand what was the other parts of the world that were reaching us and why those parts of the world was using it. And this makes us to understand a little bit more about, well, I will go straightforward. The other regions were reaching us to understand the content that we were creating. And this was interesting because the focus of all the content was Europe and the regulations on Europe and how we get this technology advanced on Europe. But even by that, we used Google Analytics to understand a little bit more about why others organizations or other regions were reaching, and it was an unexpected answer. It was like, okay, a lot of other regions, it was Latin American, North American, and Asia were reaching, just trying to understand the concept, even if it was a concept that they previously had. They had other companies and other projects inside their countries, but even by that, they reached us. They got to our content about this specific thematic. So Google Analytics help us a little bit understand that, okay, our project was having a little bit more attention, not only unwanted, it was wanted, of course, always good to have people reaching us, but it helped us to understand that our project is not interesting just for Europe, even if the focus was Europe. So that was just a short example about the use of it, but I can go more about
No, that's fine,
characteristics
Matthias.
stuff. But
Thank you so much. And I think from here, we've got, there's some very interesting ones to follow up with afterwards. So please do carry on.
Perfect. Thank you, Douglas. Let me open the presentation here. Okay. Well, of course, one of the most relevant parts of the funnel is create content that is relevant for our stakeholders. But we don't want the stakeholders just go, read, and get away. We want them to interact with us. We want them to reach us in the other engagements ways. So we try to build contexts that will create opportunities for the clients, the stakeholders interact with us. So instead of just post a newsletter, we try to add call to actions inside the newsletter. So reach us about this content by this email, and a link that will go direct to our email. And this link, we count every click on it. So to understand, to have the data about, okay, people are interested in this content that was inside our newsletter. And with that, we can be more direct in the future parts of the project and the development content. So we can be more direct, but we will get more results and will make easier to the person to go to decision part of the funnel. So in this content, it's of course needs to be planned. We need to understand we need to understand what we want to do, and we need to write this on a paper or any kind of presentation that you use to do, and use this as a guide for us to see if what we are doing are reaching the results that we want to have it. And this is also about understanding the clients that we are reaching. So the feedback's not just asking the person, interacting with the person, the client itself, the company, but it's also understand what kind of the content they are reacting, they are interacting. And some of the common challenges in the content marketing is keep the consistency and a relevant content. This is one of the hardest one, to be honest, because if you decide that for our company, weekly posts works and it's enough for keeping the stakeholders reaching you and wanting more information about you, you need to keep this forever, because the idea is to try to always get more results for it. So all the social medias and even the Google and other platforms, they want that consistency. They want companies and organizations and websites that keep creating content, and it is always relevant content that goes to them, because it will make people use it more. So it's probably the most hard thing to do. And then we have managing multiple platforms effectively. So if you have an account on TikTok, if you had an account on Instagram, if you had an account on Facebook, you need to be different on each one. Not in your communication pattern, not in your behavior itself, not in your company, organization characteristics, but in the way you talk on the platform. Instagram demands really good visual content, people clicking and seeing more than one picture. TikTok needs to be fast, keep the person until the end of the video. LinkedIn need to have long content that people can help and improve the content, can interact, adding more informations, and tagging other people and speaking in the comments and liking, doing share. So having more than one platform is already hard. You can I believe if your client is in one or two of those platforms, you should focus on these two and don't waste a lot of time on being in all of them, because sometimes your client will not be there and you will be using a lot of efforts to try to be effective in everyone, but you don't need all of them. Understand the data is really hard. Understand all the data that we have it and collecting, and understand how to use it, that and how to represent needs a lot of time, a lot of efforts. You, of course, have with more experience, you will understand more of that. It will be easier, but it will always be a big effort, to a big challenge to use it in the best way as possible. And marketing is always spoken about being a living thing. It will change every week, it will change every month, it will keep changing every time. So you cannot do the same always. You need to adapt. You need to see what are around the marketing setup, around what is new, and always try to be as updated as possible to the trends and to your client perspective, your client behavior, to not get lost in time. So that's it for the part 2. Thank you, everyone. Let's go back to Barbara for the part 3.
Yeah, thank you. So
Or
thanks
Douglas,
both.
sorry.
I think given the timetable, why don't we proceed with part C and then have a small break before part D? So there's plenty of time and there's plenty of time for a break, but I would suggest that we go on for part C, leads qualification now, have a break after that, and then finalize with part D and any other business. So if everyone is okay with that, I'll ask Barbara to I think it's Barbara to proceed with with part C.
Okay, I think no objections. Let me share my screen with you. Okay. Thank you, Matheus. And we were talking until this point about content, about the content marketing in inbound marketing, and how the content help us to nurture this lead. And we want to lead this, we want to conduct this lead to some place, somewhere. So this is about what we are going to talk in this part about leads qualification. So, the process of the leads qualification is to identify which leads are most likely to become customers. We have here the marketing funnel, right? Um, Maybe we could reach raw leads, viable leads, nurture them, active them in a engagement journey, and then we need to qualify them to pass them to the sales team. So we had the nutrition and the qualification of these leads. In the nurturing stage, lead nurturing, we are educating them, engage them, like turning them more prepared to make a decision. And we can use emails, personalized content, specific campaigns on social media or maybe on the Google. And what we want is qualify these leads because we need to understand if they are ready or not to buy, to make a purchase. So how could we do it? Usually, the most common way is the lead scoring, using the lead scoring across the channels. What it means that each interaction that the lead has with our brand would be counted. For example, if this lead opened some email, he will receive some points. If it's submitted in some form, or visited the website, or attended some webinar, or downloaded some white paper, or something like that, everything is counted. And then we can, implementing this lead scoring, we can have an idea of their behaviors, of what is working better or not. We can monitor their interactions by channel. This is very good because it could help us to having a higher performance through these channels. So, what are the key components in this cross between marketing and sales? In this point, we started to share the goals and the metrics. For example, we can share the qualified leads or the leads that raised their hands. We also share the lead management and handoffs, the communication feedback. For example, your sales team could say to your marketing, oh, the leads that we counted, we assumed that were ready for buy are actually not ready at all. So the marketing team can align the content and adapt the process to prepare more these leads to the purchase stage. Also, it's possible to create some collaborative campaigns. For example, you can release some campaign social media telling subscribe to receive some free trial of our solution or some specific mentoring, and it could be aligned with the sales team because you could share this campaign, maybe this paid media on social media, on this paid media talking about that this person could receive something, and then your sales team could talk with them directly. So we are shortening this process. Or this is the moment also that we have the technology integration, because when we are working with the leads, nurturing leads, even qualifying leads, we are using different tools. And from now on, we are going to integrate it using APIs to the CRM systems. So we would like to know about you. What strategies do you employ to prioritize your leads? Have been using lead scoring, or you are more straightforward and put your sales team in the front since the beginning? Just a few more seconds to access the link or the QR code.
It's the code is also on the chat as well for anyone who wants to click on that.
Oh, perfect. Great. Okay, just give me a few seconds because I believe I didn't open this question yet. Here. Sorry. Okay, I think you can see my screen now. Great. We already have an answer here. Direct sales. Someone would like to share something, other methods to qualify your leads, to prioritize your leads? Okay. Okay. Maybe direct sales, it's the most common at this moment. Just more few seconds to see if someone else would like to share with us their thoughts. Okay, someone is using already lead scoring. Great. Nurturing the lead. Okay, great. It means that you have been using the inbound marketing. It's very good. Okay. One more participant, let me see. Smart goals. Okay, nice. WhatsApp. Very interesting. Yeah, it probably it works because it's a very straightforward channel, right? If you direct your leads for this channel, probably they are already raising their hands like, please contact me, I need more information, or let's meeting and using the WhatsApp for it. Great, excellent. Let me go back to our presentation. I saw something else doing. Okay, back to the presentation. Thank you so much for participating. And in the practical flow, what do we have on the leads qualification methods? Like we work with the content and SEO management, and we have different tools to work with that. For example, SEMrush, as Matteo said before, Google Analytics. We have a lot of other different tools to work with this. Since we have the content, since we have these platforms working, we are passing to the marketing automation, because here, as I said, we are constructing some engagement journey. So the idea, it's always keeping the lead near of us. So we have the marketing automation where we can send different and calculated emails to this lead, and also using multiple channels and different campaigns. After we have this email marketing automation and email marketing automation tools, we have the customer relationship management, the CRM tools. That is where the leads will be considered or not read for buy something. And we have here some examples of tools. For example, Salesforce, it's the most famous one, I believe, Pipedrive or Zendesk. And these tools, what is interesting is that they are not just offering one service for you. You can do a lot of things, even in HubSpot that I'm used to use it for the marketing automation. It could be used as an CRM too. So it's like you could take a look on these tools on others to identify what could be more useful or not for your business. So
Sorry,
I would
Barbara,
like to...
before you move on, could you go back to that slide? We have a question. Those CRM tools which are on the screen, are they free? Are they paid?
All of them are paid. I'm not sure if we have some CRM tools free for free. I know that for email marketing we have, but for CRM, I'm not sure. Sorry. We can take a look and send you back maybe this information. But these ones, all of them are paid.
And there's another question. Well, there's a point that MailChimp is freemium, the freemium model. And another question is there any software at all that we can use to collect or store their data?
To collect or store the data?
Yes.
So all of these tools, you could, I don't know about which data, maybe you could specify if it's something that some data, specific data, but I'm going to show you some, like a first impression of some tools that where this magic happens. But in all of these tools, we have the data stored. For example, in the SEO, we, since the beginning, or even in SEMrush or Google Analytics, in the moment we started to work with them, they are collecting, or they bring already some data from the market, or they are collecting our data because it will be connected with our website, our social media, and they are going to storage this data because we are going to have more knowledge, increasing our knowledge about what we have been achieving or not. The same happens with the email marketing tools, because here what we are going to have, like, not only the engagement journey, like the sequence of emails, the sequence of touch points with the leads, but also the historical of them, also the scoring of them. So also their information, for example, name, email, where are they from, and once we connect all these tools, they are like complementing themselves. And this is very nice because we can increase our intelligence about the process. Also, the same happens with the CRM. This is a tool to storage the data and giving us more intelligence, but it's more focused to the sales. I am going to show you a little bit more about how it looks like in the next few slides. And if I didn't answer the question, please let us know.
Thank you. Please go ahead.
Thank you. So about the SEO and web analysis, as Mateus mentioned it before, this is an example of one of our projects that we have been working with. We have for example, the number of users that we received in this website. We have also where these leads, these users come from. For example, they type the name of the project on the Google, or they just search it for the subject on the Google, or are some referral from some another blogger post, journalist article, or maybe from social media, email marketing, we don't know. Also, we have here a section from identifying where are they from. So where are people coming from, where people that are visiting our website are coming from. So in this case, the Netherlands, Italy, Germany, it's very interesting because it gives you a notion if your strategy, content strategy, your statements, your positionment are focused locally, or if it's like going beyond that. We have also a lot of information. This is just the first page. But it's already very useful. And here we are talking about some data about who are this person who is visiting our website. I didn't show you here, but we can see which are the most assessed pages. For example, is the about you, is the some specific page about the services that you are offering. And this is very interesting. I didn't put here, but just for like a plus thing, there are some tools, and I believe this is free, that you can measure the temperature of your website pages. You can identify how hot or not are the pages, in the sense that where are the visitants leaving your website, or where are they clicking more. There is this, I'm talking about a maybe partial free tool, this Hotjar, but also you can use it or see it on the Google Analytics. But not like a hot map, like a map of the, I forgot, but okay, but not like a map of temperature, but you can see here if you configure some events. As I said, the lead qualification is the process to identify which leads are more could be turned into customers, right? So if you have like call to actions to talk with us on WhatsApp. Do you want we call you? You can configure it like an event on the Google Analytics, and you can measure this evaluation, this process. Okay, this is about content. This is about the website. About the web marketing automation, here's just an example. This exemplify how could work a engagement journey. It's not the layout of the email marketing tool itself, but it's the idea of the engagement journey. For example, you send some campaign, and this campaign is, you can enjoy some promotion clicking here. And if this person maybe accessed this information or even received it, you can send you a different campaign. Like, yeah, do you have questions? Why you didn't maybe, I don't know, it's the continuation of the previous part. And then one day before, waiting for one day, you can send another email talking, in this case here, this is an example, case study, or maybe you can do another thing to try to guide this lead to convert, to open your email, to click to call you, to talk with you. And you can choose if the person, depending of the action, you can choose different actions too. This is a very interesting for you creating a personalized this lead nurturing. Okay, and we talked about SEO in content on web, on your website. Now I talked about the lead nurturing using email marketing automation, and I think this is very interesting for the person who asked about the data. Maybe I have the impression that could be about this kind of data that the person was talking to. So here is an example from Microsoft Dynamics. And this tool is a CRM tool. And we can see here, for example, this person, Alex Baker, he has this name, job title, phone, what kind of maybe topic he accessed, like where he come from in our contents. And we have the lead score. The lead score of him is grade C, and it's improving because according the data was stored, this lead shares many characteristics with others that were qualified. So it's a potential lead. And in this other side, we have only the grade A section with the leads that was very good for the decision stage. So we have, for example, they are ready, industry of something, the roles, but this is the intelligence behind the CRM tools. Everything, every contact. And by the way, I believe even if you connect your WhatsApp businesses with these tools, with CRM tools, you will have some. You could have some. You can track. You can do exactly what we're doing here. We are talking about here. You can track the contacts with your prospects, with these leads, and you can have this information stored. So I think it could be very helpful because it could increase the efficiency of the productive of your sales process. It will help your marketing and etc. that we have been talking about it. Okay, from now on, I will let you with Mateus.
Thank you, Barbara. So just presenting to measure concepts from this part of that are really good to understand a little bit more how to improve it, or just how to improve our efforts with focus on financial efforts to get more clients and get more revenue. So the first concept is the customer acquisition cost. That the idea is to understand how much it costs to us to get a new client, and the LTV, the lifetime value, that represent how much revenue we will get from one customer during all the lifetime that this client is with us. So the idea is to have a balance, but this balance is more like we always want to have a good customer acquisition cost, but we want a really big lifetime value. So it's a balance in the sense that we need one at least really bigger than the other one. So the customer acquisition cost, it gets let's go direct to the formula. So it is all the costs that we had to our marketing, even with the campaigns, the 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 group that is working with marketing, and the sales expenses, the money that we use to have more sales. And this is divided by the number of the customers accurate by that period of time. So the idea is to have this calculated each month, each trimester, each quarter, each year, to have an idea that what is the number that we have right now. The idea is always to keep more than one, because we are not to cost to use more money that we get in customers. Usually numbers nowadays could be 3, 4, could be really bigger, but that's the idea of the consumer acquisition cost. And the LTV, the lifetime value, it represents all the money that we get from the specific customer. So what is the formula? The formula is the every purchase value that is every time that the customer has do a purchase, how much money did we get from this specific purchase? So it's not about how much items you get or the total value of all purchase. No, it's the specific. So we get the total and we divide it by the number of purchases that the client had until he was our client, or the period that we have analyzing at that moment. So we multiply it for the purchase frequency, that is the total number during the period, by the number of customers, sales number, and multiply it by the average time that the customer keeping buying from us. So the idea of those numbers is to have a ratio by them, but let's go direct for the balancing. The idea is to have a LTV 3 times higher than a CIC, but we want a bigger number because we want to keep our customer with us, buying with us as much as possible. And we try to improve this by sometimes even with higher prices, sometimes with putting more money on the acquisition, so we get more clients, and with more clients, they will buy more and more and more, and then we will have a more lifetime value. So the idea with this formula is just a way to put in the financial perspective everything that we spoke in this part of the presentation. So that's it for now. I believe Douglas.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think it's time for another little break. We have one part left, part D, social media, paid media, and KPIs, which is a relatively, which will take us about 30 minutes or so. So we will definitely finish on time. There was no issues at all. What I would suggest now, and Christine and Robert, maybe you could comment. I would say, because it's an online is can be tiring for participants. I would say another 15-minute break just now. So we come back at 20 past the hour, which is in 60 minutes time, but 20 past the hour, which is effectively 50 minutes time. And then we do part D and we will finish on time. In the meantime, if they have any further questions, thank you for the questions during the last session. If they have any questions in the meantime, do please put them into the chat over the break time. And of course, we will make sure that they're answered in the last session, in the last session during part D. So if that's okay, I would suggest a 15-minute break. Thank you again. Thank you again to Barbara and Matthias. You more than deserve a 15-minute break. So thank you so much. And we reconvene at 20 past the hour in 15 minutes time.
Thanks, Douglas. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
There's no volume, right? No. Like I said, turn it off. I don't know how. What? Just turn it off. But it's on. Turn it on again. Oh, okay. Yeah. So hello everyone. We're just coming back from the break. Maybe 1 or 2 more minutes, I think, before we start. Mateus, just to advise you, we don't see the slides yet. As yet, we don't see the slides on the screen. And Barbara, I can see you there. Just to say that to Barbara and to Mateus, it says that Mateus is sharing his screen, but we don't actually see. I don't actually see the slides on the screen.
Yeah, Douglas, I just made Mateus co-host again. I think that might have been the issue.
Oh, okay. So Mateus, maybe you can start sharing your screen again.
Yes, doing that.
Excellent. Fantastic. So we're starting to see it again. So I think we should start again. There was a question, a request to have a list of free version of CRM, giving planning tools and others to help upgrade their operation. I think we can do that. If it's okay with you, we won't do it in the session right now because we want to make sure we get through some of the final material. But we'll make sure that when we upload the slides, that there'll be an annex or another couple of slides in which that information is provided. We're not seeing it full screen at the moment, Mateus. I wonder if you could start that.
I think I'm going to start to go back to the presentation.
Okay.
Okay,
so I think welcome back, everyone. I think we can start now. Thank you for coming back to the last part. This is part D. As I said, we will make sure that we certainly finish on time. So please go ahead, Barbara. And again, please put any comments and questions into the chat. So please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Let's go to the social media part. So when we are talking about social media, we have to get in mind that it's important using these tools to build relationships and build communities. So people on social media are also buying from brands that they trust, that they can being connected with. So connection on social media, it's the new currency. And here is we have an example of what the public or the consumers are expecting from the brands. And in the first place, we have being positive and contributing to the society, be connected with their consumers, use their power to help people, bring people together, bring people together toward a common goal, raise the moral standards for others, unique people from different backgrounds, act as leaders in our society. What we are seeing here, basically, it's that the social impact is very important for people. Social impact, environment impact. They need to see our values on the communication on the social media, because here the engagement goes beyond transaction. So we need to focus on professional trust, showing authority, show your leadership on this field that you are working on, show case of studies, foster discussions, and also collaborate with ecosystem. We talked earlier about the competition, marketing competition, but here on social media, we need to have in mind that not copying others, but others' ideas could contribute to yours. And also, we have trendings happening on different social media, for example, on Instagram or TikToks or Reels, Twitter. But it's important to know that you can use good ideas to increase value in your own communication. Since you can show professional trust, you can show your authority and show what you have like a different, what you can offer in a different way. We are going to focus here on this presentation talking about LinkedIn, because LinkedIn itself says that the most part of the people there are drive business decisions. There are people who has the power to make decisions to the businesses. So here is the platform that we can use to increase brand awareness, to establish authority and credibility, drive engagement, and also accelerate lead generation and boost conversions. So here we have some examples from some incubators that we can take in mind. How could we use the content on social media? We have here the first post is a post from BIC. And in this post, they are showing that they received some award, and this recognition shows the authority because they were recognized in something. We have also, for example, this third post, the Veritech is showing us that they was moderating a panel, and the panel was about sustainability related to projects. So they are fostering discussions. They are being moderators of discussions. So it shows authority too. And also here in the middle, we have the Institute Pedro Nunes showing that they were supporting local entrepreneurs and producers, artists. This is very nice because it shows their core values. So they are supporting their cultural environment, and it makes a connection with the public, with others. They are not only an incubator focused on. The problem is not be only an incubator focusing on generating leads or more businesses. It's to have a clear idea and vision of marketing and statement, and this shows it. Because of this, the post received also a lot of interactions here, because it's something that touches you, like, oh, very nice. Another example, it's about the format. You can tell the stories in different ways. You can use videos as the Instituto Pedro Nunes use it. You can use like carousels as the Futurize Incubator use it, or you also could give them white papers. You can play with different formats and maybe compare what is the performance of all of them. If you are using maybe paid media, Mateus here is going to talk with you later, but it could be useful to take a look and compare what could be more useful, more perform better or not. And here, I would like to share with you some copywriting tips. Maybe you already know about it, but it's common and the innovation environments we are used to say the obvious needs to be said. So here we have some examples of how that is important. Start the posts with some challenge or opportunity or what some measurable thing. For example, in this first post on the Vacano incubator, this project manager say, is it so impossible find new founds on 2024? And then he said he started showing their results. Also, we have here the Veritech saying the highlights of some forum that they made. And this is more actionable, it's more straightforward. It's a communication that the person will take a look and, okay, let me see what they have here. Also, we have another tip. It's very good practice using highlight the solutions that you can provide. As we saw in the beginning of the presentation, when we are talking about brand value, what is tangible or not, the co-working, it's something tangible. It's something that could turn you, can help you to be different of the others in the same place, in the same scenario, marketing scenario. So highlight the solution could be good for you. In this case, the further was celebrating their new office. And by the way, it was very beautiful, right? And they received a lot of engagement. Other tip, you can and you should, it could be good, always ending some your content, your posts with call to actions. Because as I said before, we want to maintain the lead, maintain the person into our engagement, into this engagement process. So, oh, okay, you saw some posts, please come back to register here, or come back to our website, or take a look at this material. So for social media, we can use download the guide now, tell us your thoughts in the below comments, then we can track the interest of this person, of these people in our content. Or for marketing campaigns, we can use syncing up for our newsletter today, schedule a free consultation. And as you can see on these both examples, they are redirecting the audience to some specific call to action. Other copyright tips could be, if you are in an ecosystem, you work with different partners, with different companies, it could be very nice if you share the content of others related to your work or that you can support them. It increases the bounds of you. It's put them near of you. Like here, Bacano shared a post of some company, they are partners. The same happened with Westbig, and this is important to increase value in your community. And also, you could and you should always mention companies and professionals on your posts. Since we are talking about some event, some whatever is going to happen or whatever happened, it's great to identify people and the companies. It increases your engagement. People are going to say, what are you talking about them? What are you talking about this company? And it will be more easier to find this content, because once another person, a random one, is searching for some content, for some company, for some specific maybe profile, they could find your post too. So it's very important to identify persons and companies, and also using hashtags. And we have here a different, it's not a tip for content, but it's most like a strategy. Like you can positioning your business using your key figures like your CEO or project managers or people who are important for your businesses, and then reflect your values or what you are doing. In these cases, we have the further sharing the CEO founder post of the Christmas message. And in this other side, we have the further tool, but sharing a post of a sustainability and SDG manager from a different company, but probably it's a partner of them. So again, they are positioning themselves using a personification of the message, a personification of the idea of the product behind the product. We have a person, and this is the person. This is a very good strategy. It works a lot, mainly on social media, but not only in social media. I brought an example for you from the Idea Lab. Idea Lab it's an incubator from California, United States, and they are working on a campaign called Celebrating 25 Years of Building Companies That Improve the World. It's very nice, right? What are they using? They are using their CEO to show what they have been learning and what they would like to share during this whole time. So they created a specific landing page that is a page dedicated to share some specific content, usually use it to achieve more leads and generate more conversions. And we have here a video in this campaign. We have the same happening on social media downstairs, and we have the same happening in the website of the company. They use the CEO, who is a person who is personify the image of the brand, to communicate, to positionate themselves. They are using the time, the experience to build this authority. And maybe the Idea Lab could do the same that other incubators, but they could say, but the person behind the scenes, the person that is leading our company, who is leading our direction, believes in this, that, was capable to do this and that, and this is a very interesting way to positioning yourselves too. And now we are going to talk more about paid media, which Matheus are going to share you more information about that.
Thank you, Barbara. I'm going to share the screen. Just adding one thing about your previous slide is that right now in environment, at least digital marketing environment, where influencers are really big, this kind of marketing is one that is getting a lot of space. But we can see someone that could be a starter of it, that is Steve Jobs, as one of that bought that idea, and right now is one idea that works amazingly well with companies. If you structure it well, and you can make that person be your values, be your communication, it works. It always worth try it. So about paid media, sorry. What is paid media? Paid media consists in a way to get results, paying different tools to be more effective or more targeted, and has a better result. Paid media has some characteristics that it requires a budget. That is the hardest part to get, to show and present that in this situation, in this moment, paid media is worth it. We should try it because, well, we are dealing with money. We cannot use money without results. So this is something that made some characteristics necessary for paid media. That is, it's highly targeted, in the idea that most of times we can target people with cell phones in that region and with this age that work in this area. So you have a specific focus on the idea, on the person that we want to pass that message. And that works amazingly well if you do this with a good structure, with a good plan. It's easily trackable, so each number, each information that could be possible to get with paid media, they will show you, they will give you in form of presentations, in form of pure data, raw data, and you can use it to analyze your performance in different levels. And the results usually are, if you paid it, you start getting the results. You can, of course, decide when the ad starts working, but if you want right now, it will be right now. So that's different from the organic efforts that needs time, need confidence, need consistency to start working. So to make it as optical as possible, you need to define your goals. It will be lead generation, it will be get more awareness, it build engagement. You need to test them, different message, which one work better, which time work better, in which region work better. You need to analyze those, get all the data that you get for the tests, and try to be as much precise as possible. Some platforms that are commonly used on paid media is Google Ads, is the social media Ads. Some specific networks you can share in your website, and you can pay for a space on that. Usually they use Google Ads, but there is other platforms that you can use to assess this. And sponsor content. You can pay for promote in newspaper, you can pay for promote in videos, you can pay for promote in different kinds of media in different channels. So that's what we have for paid media. It's really short, but I believe it's a really amazing topic that we can spend a lot of time in talking about it. But let's go for KPIs. That is, of course, a part of paid media. If you can define a good KPI for your ADS, you will have a better idea about what are you doing and the results that you get. The KPIs are the key performance indicators. So they are metrics that you use it to track your progress on your objectives, your environment. And the idea of to use KPIs and always track them is to understand if all your efforts are getting some results. So that's, I believe, is the most important way to deal with analytics, is define the KPIs, understand the KPIs, and get insights from it, use them to reach what you want. So they need to be clearly defined with focus. They need to be measurable, so it will be always be a quantitative data. They need to be relevant, so they need to represent what you need to measure. And the idea is to have a time frame that you define to reach that KPI. I bought some examples from some companies. This is founder investors, that it's another incubator accelerator. And they show the KPIs in the website, not the KPIs that they want to reach, but the KPIs that they already reached. And this is a way to deal with it. It's a way to use the KPIs not only for understanding your business or understand where you want to be, but to understand what you want to be, but understand too that you can use it to create content. You can use KPIs, your results, to bring more persons or organizations to do business with you. And this is something that this incubator do pretty well. It uses the general numbers here in the website, and they use it and they present it in a different way in the other part of the website, showing the map, the cities that they reached, the continents that they are present, and this is other way to create content using it. So it's not just the number itself, it's how we use the number, what the number mean, and how can we use these numbers to understand and be and do more. A Y Combinator is another one that they are really direct on the numbers. So we have these founded startups and they have this combined evaluation. And when they present this number, it's clearly that they have new KPIs that they are tracking, and these KPIs are bigger than those that are presented on the website. So maybe could be 6,000 founded startups for the end of the year. The combined evaluation could be 700 billions. So that's the idea behind it. It's not just have the number, but use it and track to always have a bigger one. Other company that used amazingly well KPIs was the Further, that they used it in a different way. They are not showing only the financial numbers, the results direct, but they are showing what their mission is. So they are presenting you a little bit more about the results that they got and all their efforts, but they're showing in a different way. Like 1 million trees planted is a KPI that not only tells you that they planted millions of trees, but it showed that they care, that that is their mission, and they're using that KPI to present you their mission and the result, and it will be used, and it is in the communication. A little bit more of the numbers that Further use it. So to track it, we have a lot of campaign, a lot of ways to do it. That is through the website traffic campaigns, the social media, the CPL and CR parts of KPIs. They are KPIs. The conversion rate are other KPI. The sorry. So, and to decide the KPI, you need to have the idea that you want growth, you want to have more visibility, you want more rotation. So you use these KPIs, you need to build them to fit your needs. Have to focus on that and use them as you use them as a decision making to fulfill your goals. Okay, the tools that we use to measure it, some of the types of KPIs that could be marketing KPIs, conversion KPIs, rotation KPIs, financial KPIs. And here are a list. We don't need to get to one by one. We are going to send to the presentation so you can have more time to analyze and see which one of the KPIs fits better in your demands, in your goals, and what we want for the organization in the future. But here are some about marketing, some of them about conversion, retention, and financial. So I have one question, the final question. I believe we could skip it and let for the other time. But so ending the presentation, we have 2 more slides, I believe. No, a little bit more. Yes. This represent a little bit of steps that we should care about KPIs. So how we should measure it, how outreach the efforts to make sense the KPI itself, which channels we should use to have the leads to use the KPI itself, and to track the growth in entrepreneurs' interest over time. So to check if the organizations that we want to reach are expressed on those KPIs, and to have insights about how to improve it, even the targeting, the message, but those are the good ways to use it. And by the end, some final recommendations on how to use it. Define a clear goal to your organization. Define a KPI that really represent it, that really makes sense to use it for your goals. Review it as much as possible, a month, monthly, weekly, daily if possible, so you can check if the KPI is being reached, and if it's not necessary, change your way to deal with it. Share with your team, ask your team always, try to understand their opinion, the efforts that they are putting on those KPIs, and to understand if the KPI makes sense not only for you, but for all your team. That will be easier to make them work for it if they understand, if they are part of it. And always check the data and improve it as soon as possible. So that was for KPIs. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Matthias and Barbara. Yes, so that's the material which we wanted to get through today, and we got through it. I don't know, with 10 minutes to go. So thank you so much for being on time, of course, as well, Matthias and Barbara. I really appreciate your time. There's one further question, which is, I think it's going back to the tools about whether they're open source or premium. What I think it's from Schwab. What I think we can do is, before we put the slides online, and of course that'll take a couple of days or so before that is done, what I would suggest, Christina and Robert, is we update some of the slides, both for the results from the Slidos, and thank you so much for people for participating in those, plus to answer one or two of the questions which have been put into the chat. We'll make sure that those questions are answered, including all the tools which we identify. We'll have just a little review of what the business model of those tools are, whether they're free, whether it's freemium, whether it's premium, etc. Just to give people an idea of A, where to find them, and B, what are the normal pricing structures of those. I don't think we've got any more questions. I don't think we've missed any of them out. If there are any questions, then please just put them into the chat in the last couple of minutes. But if not, at least from my side, I wanted to thank Barbara and Matthias so much for all the effort that you put in today and in preparation for today. From my side as moderator, I want to thank all the participants. I think the vast majority have stayed with us through, and we know people are busy. We know people got other things to do. We know things come up immediately during the day which need immediate attention. So thank you so much for being part of this first session of the second part of the BIC Africa online sessions. And of course, we hope you can join us in January as well. From my side,
thank you, Douglas.
From my side, I'd like to pass to Christina then, and Christina for any further wrap up.
Yes, thank you. I think that summarizes, but from our side as the BIC Africa team, also a big thank you to Barbara and Matheus for this excellent session. I think the thematic was really relevant, and we hope that you managed to learn and will manage to implement this knowledge from today. And Douglas, thanks a lot for the moderation and the organization. So thank you for all your support. And yeah, perhaps I'll just hand over to Robert for some final words, if there are any.
No, just to echo what you said, Christina and Douglas, thanks very much for the participants for being with us today. It's great to have you, and thanks again for all the questions and interactions. And do keep following us on the social media and the websites. And for some of you, we look forward to meeting again at our various physical events in Africa in the next coming months. So thanks again, and have a great holiday break, and seasonal greetings to one and all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.